roasting when my foolish audience not only wants me to rip apart their channel or videos, but they ask for it. Howdy everyone, Nate here, welcome back. Yes, it is time to do some roasting. Let's see if you can spot the issue with this channel. Sensei Boba, as of recording this, they have just over 6.5 thousand subscribers, 520 videos. Now, aside from the glaring issue of the most recent video, a long-form video being published 3 months ago as of recording this, as I scroll through this, I want to see if you can spot the same thing I do. Because what I'm about to show you applies whether or not you are a gaming channel. In fact, most people watching this will probably not be a gaming channel, and yet you're probably doing this. You see, as I scroll through this channel, I'm seeing a variety of videos about a specific game. In this case, it's a game called Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. We could say things about the thumbnails and especially the publishing frequency on these long-form videos, but what I keep coming back to, which is what gets me genuinely worried when I see a channel like this, is really, you're going to make an entire channel centered around a single video game. An entire channel that if that game stops being supported, you stop having content. What happens? Really? Have we stepped back to look at this and say, what happens when, not if, that game stops being supported? And I know you know that I know that you know that we're talking about more than just a video game channel here. We're talking about centering your channel around something that you as the content creator have very little control over. We can make a whole video about this dichotomy between getting in early and the niche ability of getting in with a game, or you watching this, whatever your channel is about, when you get in early to something, when you choose a smaller sector of YouTube, you have the advantage of being able to grow more quickly in most cases when you put yourself in that situation. However, I have to roast the major downfall, which is why I had to make this video today. What happens when that thing is not popular anymore? What happens when something else comes up and you have yourself so entrenched into that thing that you become irrelevant and you have to spend all this time scrambling to get yourself relevant again? I don't want that to happen to anyone ever again watching this video, which is why we need to talk about this. And again, you know, I'm not just talking about video game channels here. I'm talking about your channel. So if I see your channel doing this Sensei Boba thing and emphasizing a single thing, let's talk the major issue here. The big issue is it's a single topic or a single product or a single company that you don't control. If that product discontinues or that interest discontinues with an audience, 9 times out of 10, their interest, your audience interest, also drops off. Which is why you will see again and again, I'm gonna pick on this Sensei Boba channel here because they're the one that asked for the frickin' roast. You'll see this over and over again. The very best scenario, if you are in this situation, is you'll see a gradual decline over time. And in fact, upon looking at this, there's a tracking site called Steam Charts that tracks the amount of interest or players for a game over time. I realize this is only on the Steam platform, but it's an indicator of what I'm talking about here. It looks like this game on Steam, at least, peaked in interest from audience interest in the year 2021. Now, I don't know what year you are in when you're watching this, but that was several years ago. That's a long time ago from when we're watching this video right now. So to see the interest peaking at that point, and then we see the gradual decline, this is why I say the very best case scenario, if you find yourself in this situation, is a gradual decline over time. Now, why is this such a big deal? I know we are roasting here, but I need to pause and have a bit of a heart-to-heart with you here for a moment. If you come to me and you say, Nate, what is wrong with my content? If I look at your channel and I see you doing this, I will say, what the heck are you doing? What the heck are you doing? Pay attention. Have you tied yourself into a single situation? No matter how good your videos are, how good your titles are, how good your packaging on your videos are, you're going to decline because the literal interest of your audience is so associated with a topic that is outside of your control, and you haven't realized that you are doing this. Of course, your channel is going to go downhill. Do you see what I am pointing at here? Sometimes the reason why your content or your channel is declining from a previous moment of glory where you had this high point and it just seems to be going down and down, sometimes that reason is because you have chosen something that is just literally losing interest over time. So what do we do about this? What do we do? What do we say as we're roasting the heck out of Sensei Boba's channel here? Fundamentally, what we need is to have common threads in your content that you have control over. And you need to be playing in a space that is big enough, that has enough interest for the period of time, the length, the duration over years that you want to play in. So what are those threads really? Because in most cases, your audience is at least got to be somewhat interested in the topic matter of your channel. I'm gonna give you an example. In most cases, if you are not interested in pets, would you watch a channel all about dogs? Probably not. And likewise, if you were not interested in video games at all, you probably wouldn't watch any Sensei Boba videos. So in most cases, your audience has to have a fundamental baseline layer of interest in the subject matter of what your channel is. Now, have you ever watched a channel where the topic matter, maybe the fundamental topic matter, was something you were just okay with? Maybe you weren't like uninterested in it, but you were just fairly neutral on it, but you find yourself coming back to that channel over and over again? Let's say that channel is about lawn care. Maybe you're not the one that has the green thumb that's just looking to get the perfect lawn care channel year round, and you're so interested in it, you want to know all about all the latest techniques and tricks, etc. But even though you fit in the neutral space of interest, you still watch their videos each week as they publish a video. Now, why would that happen? And why would you or your audience want to come back to your videos even when their interest waxes and wanes? Why would they want to revisit your channel? Once you get it, you're going to see it everywhere, especially in those channels in your same niche that are growing more quickly than you, that you feel so frustrated. You're like, why the heck do people watch their channel more than mine? I'm sure you've never felt that way, right? This is it. The secret, simply, it's having those threads of interest that retain your audience regardless of their waxing or waning interest in the baseline, the topic matter of your channel. And I've distilled it down into a few key things, the types of things that you have control over. One, personality, meaning your face, your situation, or your outlook on life. The energy that you bring to your videos, no one else can replicate that. And many times you'll find your audience returning because of how they feel. Next, a long-term skill or audience goal, with the emphasis there being on the term long-term. This is not something that's a current trend that maybe there's a whole bunch of interest and you don't know how long that's going to last before it burns off. With the key thing here being deciding where on the spectrum you want your content to fit. As an example, let's say you have a health-based recipe channel. If your channel is currently a whole foods plant-based diet, and that alone, you could take a step back and assess and say, hey, is this audience large enough for what I want to accomplish? And if not, what's the next level up? The next level up would be a vegetarian diet. There are many more people that are interested in a vegetarian diet than a whole foods plant-based diet, or even aware of the whole foods plant-based diet. And let's say you look at that and you say that even that is not enough for me. All right, what's another step up? Is just nutrition, a dietary nutrition channel. You see, the point here is the further up on that scale you go, the more likely it is that the skill or the topic matter you are focusing on will be a long-term skill or topic that many people over a long period of time retain interest in. Next thread you could be focusing on is a 1 or 2 step up of the passion that you already have. So we talk about the energy you bring to your videos. There's going to be a passion or a fan base for something. So let's say right now you're focusing on the Lord of the Rings, the whole universe of the Lord of the Rings. Now, the people that are very into all of the lore, J.R.R. Tolkien, etc., the people that are very into those things are going to be interested in deep dives, etc., into that universe. But what about the people that care about medieval fantasy books, but maybe don't care as much about the Lord of the Rings? What if you took your current passion, the targeted passion you have for the Lord of the Rings, and you stepped it back just a little bit more and included the thread of, well, medieval fantasy? So once we've identified some threads, how do we measure the size of the space we're playing in right now such that we can decide where on that scale we want to play? The most basic yet stinking effective approach I have found is put yourself in the shoes of your audience, the audience you're looking to attract. Go watch several channels and pay attention to both the highest subscriber counts and the highest view counts over a period of time, a long period of time. If you look around and you can't find any channels that have the audience you're looking for with the size or the viewership that you're looking for, then it might be time to say, you know what, it is time for me to add a new thread or another angle from what I am currently doing. And I'm adding this as a plug in here because I've been using it more and more. It is by no means required. It just makes it way easier to do what I just described. These threads that the other channels in your space are already using that are helping them retain attention over a long period of time. Just using an example, I have my lawn care space here. I've saved a couple of channels right here that I can keep track of. Hey, I'm going to track this and I'm going to track that so that now I or you have an ongoing tracked list. If I'm seeing my channel decline, for example, and I want to know what's working right now, I could just go into Velio and say, what threads are they pulling through in their content? What content threads are keeping their audience around, even during an off season or even during insert whatever in the blank? I can now understand my space on YouTube much better when I do that. Just try it. See how useful it is and see how useful it is for you to identify those common threads in your playing field, in the space that you're on YouTube. Now, an important thing to note here is that this isn't an issue as long as you have taken a good look at it and you've assessed it and you said, I am okay with the results I am getting. I am also okay with the potential in the future of the interest waning over time. If that's you, well, I'm glad you're here watching this video. I'm guessing it's not you. Why did I even bring that up? Because nobody watching this actually is okay with their interest in their subject matter going down over time. Why did I even say that? I want you to go back at your own channel, roast the heck out of your own channel and say, what are those common threads that I have control over? Are they long-term enough for me to pick them and intentionally add them to my content? Because if you look at it and you say, all right, these are the threads right now. Oh, I've got an expiration date on that one, and that one. You might want to look at reassessing your content plan. You also might want to look at booping the like button on this video if it is being helpful or eye-opening to you thus far. You might want to look at that because I think that'd be a great thing to do. That is dying. We can literally look at the graphs. It is declining over time. I don't want to see you ever do that. Again, don't get me worried about you.